All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's webinar. Man, really excited to be pouring into real estate agents this week and going to be sharing the 3 steps to earn multiple 6 figures selling real estate. I'm excited to share this. I want you to see, you see that graph that just goes up? You can see it just going up to the right. You know why? Because it doesn't matter where you are right now in your journey, whether you're just getting started as a real estate, whether you're in the middle and you're doing transactions, but you want to get to that next level, or you're already you're crushing it. You're like, okay, there's got to be a higher level. No matter where you are in the journey, this is going to apply to you. This is going to help you get to that next level and get to that multiple 6 figures. So for some of you, you just need to hit your first 6 figures. I get it. I was there too. My first year in the business, I was there. And then some of you are like, hey, I'm already making a couple $100,000 a year and I want to get to that next level. So I love it. And we're going to be pouring into everybody. We've got something for all of you today because this is fundamental stuff. So I love to start every webinar here with a Zig Ziglar quote, which is when you're helping other people get what they want, you can have whatever it is that you want. That has really served me well, through my whole career. Years ago, I just started focusing on helping other people, solving problems. And when you're doing that, your people are attracted to you. People will come back to you. People will send you referrals. They'll send you their family members. They'll be talking about you, screaming about you from the mountains and the rooftops. When you're really serving other people. So I love this quote. And if you haven't taken a picture of this one yet, I would take a picture of this and save it on your phone. All right, let me get some water. Now, a little bit about me. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but 36 years in outbound sales. I spent 20 years in the real estate space. 12 of those years were spent teaching other real estate agents to take listings. I was a trainer for Keller Williams, a trainer for eXp Realty, as well as the Success Brand. I have 2 books, which are right there. Some of you guys have already downloaded my books, and I'm the host to the Path to Mastery podcast, which has been tremendous. I have 3 amazing daughters, and coincidentally, as of yesterday, I now have 3 grandchildren. I had 2, but we have another little granddaughter last night named Cora. So I am a huge family man, as some of you guys know. So I'm super excited to with the new granddaughter. All right. So how I got started in real estate. This is my story, so it's about 21 years ago now. My daughter, Jacqueline, back then came home and she said, Dad, Mom's friend Sue makes a lot of money selling real estate. You should get your real estate license. And at first I looked at her like, do I not make enough money, or but anyway, I got over it, and I didn't make much sense to me, but anyway, I woke up the next morning and it was on my mind to get my real estate license. And looking back now, it was probably one of the best pieces. I wouldn't say probably, it was definitely one of the best pieces of advice I ever received. Why? Because it's opened so many doors for me in my career. And so I went, signed up for the course. 5 months later, I had my real estate license, and I joined a team. And I always remember the first day he had us meet at the office. It was me and there were 3 other agents, and he had us all meet at the Keller Williams office. He said, I want you to bring all the local newspaper real estate sections. I had no idea why he wanted this stuff. He said, I want you to bring 100 index cards, right? A packet. I still carry index cards, packet just like this. 100 index cards. I want you to bring a highlighter, right? Like a highlighter. I want you to bring scissors. I'm like, what does this stuff have to do with real estate, right? But anyway, I got my stuff together. We met at his office on a Sunday morning. And what he did is he taught us to go and cut out the little for sale by owner ads from the real estate sections in the newspaper. And then we taped them to the top of the index card, just like this. And that was the system back then for tracking the for sale by owners. Then he gave us all a super aggressive script. I love the script. I still remember it this day. It was, when are you going to hire the right agent for the job to sell your house? And so we all went into the conference room and we practiced the script for about 15 minutes. with each other, and then we got on the phones. And I can still remember my first call. I was pretty nervous, and so if Sam, if you could keep your eyes on the chat, that would be helpful to let people in. That'd be amazing. I was super nervous, and however, I made the call, and the person on the other end must have seen or sensed my nervousness, and they just literally hung up on me. It was like, "Hi, this is David," and it would click. I'm like, wow, that went well. So then on my second call, I got a little further into the script. "Hi, this is David with Keller. When are you going to hire the right agent for the job?" The man said, "I'm all set. I don't need any agents." Hung up on me. Get to my third call, right? It's very similar. I got a little further in, but at the end, the person just said, "Listen, I'm all set. If I need an agent, I know where to find you guys." Click, hung up on me. So I wasn't having the greatest success with Steve's script, right? The aggressive, and listen, it worked for some. So I went off script a little bit, because I had it. Remember, I had experience in sales, so I went in. I used my own authentic script, and I said, "Hi, my name is David Hill. I'm a new realtor. I'm just wondering, would you be open to using me to sell your home?" And the person said, "Maybe." And I was like, like I literally didn't even know what to say. I started stuttering and like, Steve grabs the phone out of my hand, and we closed for our first appointment. Now, we went on the appointment. At the end of Steve's presentation, he asked the lady to move forward. She said no. We walked out without the listing, and then the lady never responded to us or returned a call again. Not a great start to my real estate career. So about 4 more months of dealing with rejection, disappointment. One day I'm sitting in my office thinking, what am I going to do to find some more business? And as I'm looking on my desk, I used to have those old big calendars from Staples that used to write on. I found an index card under the calendar. The index card, that's the system. And I said, "Oh, an old FSBO." I called the guy, and he said, "Hey, you're a week late, man. I just listed the house last week with another agent." And that was the final straw for me. I just said to myself, you know what? There's got to be a better way of doing this. And I left Steve's team, and I went on my own. And I'm going to jump forward. Here we are, over 20 years later. I've had tens of thousands of calls. I've spent over $250,000 on myself in personal development and training, and just getting better and having the right systems, and selling over 1,100 homes, with my teams. And so I took that process, Steve's antiquated index card system for tracking and calling, to a system where every morning I get emailed the best information and reminded when to call, right? From a stuttering cold call with an aggressive script to literally a way of asking questions, a word track, and a way to build trust with people, right? Handling objections and building trust, and from rejection and disappointment to a process that's literally simple, where I can build trust with people, and then they're literally calling me when they're ready. Now, if I can do that, I promise you, anybody on this call can do that. And in the next 25 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So I thank you guys, and let me get you back into the presentation. So welcome back, everybody. I'm going to get you back into this demo, and Sam will cut out that part right there. So when we send out the recordings to everybody, they will not even know about that. How's that? So thank you guys for being here, though. Let me share my screen again and get you guys back into it. All right. So I just shared my story on how I got started in real estate. All right. I want to let you know at the end today, yes, at the end, we do have something to sell you. I'm going to tell you 100%. Absolutely. We have an awesome community where we have people every day, every week taking listings. And we wanted to create an opportunity for everybody today to test out our community, full access, 1 month for only $147 to test out everything, get access to our 4 calls, get access to all of the university lessons on line for 1 month. So Sam's going to drop a link. If you know you want to take advantage of that now, just go there, scan that QR code, use the link, take advantage of that opportunity now to join our university for 1 month for, again, only $147. That's less than half price it would normally cost you. And you get to test it out. And if you think it's for you, great, you can continue. So we'll get back to that at the end. We're also going to have a Q&A at the end. So that said, I appreciate you guys being here. Now, where do we start today? We start with you. Okay, this is all about you today, my friends. Okay, you want to be successful. You want to take listings. You want to break six figures, multiple six figures. It starts first with you in your journey. You need to be confident in yourself. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Confidence in yourself. If somebody has an open mic, please mute your mic. That would be super awesome. Now, number one, there's 3 steps we're going to talk about today. 3 things, and then we're going to open it up at the end for Q&A. First one is going to be your approach. Your approach and listing motivated sellers. Okay, so what is your approach? Do you know what your approach is? So you notice there's one red house in that image, right? And the rest of them are all white. Why? Because that is going to be the motivated person. Now, here's the thing. Every single day, all of us, we're taught as real estate agents, you need to talk to people. You need to talk to more people. You need to have more conversations. The reality is, majority of the conversations we're having, some of them are with good people, don't get me wrong, but the majority of them are with people that just aren't motivated to do anything right now. And that's the key distinction. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not motivated to do anything ever. It just means they're not motivated to do anything right now. So we need to understand that. So everybody that's on this call, I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to challenge you to become listing focused. That's the intention. Focus on listings. I'll tell you why. I know as a real estate agent, okay, my last year in real estate, not just my last year, but the last year in real estate, we were in a really, really tough market. Right, my last year selling was 2021. Okay, and it was a very, very difficult market because there was no inventory. So whenever I put up a listing, what would happen is I would list a property and I would get 30 to 40 offers on one listing. Now, I want you to understand this. If I get 30 to 40 offers on one listing, that means there's 30 to 40 buyers agents that are submitting their best offer. They're working, they're putting in the time, they're putting in the energy, they're putting in the effort, they're meeting with their clients, but yet only one of them can get the listing. You got to understand, this is an important point. You may be putting in the best effort possible, but you're up against 40 other people and only one of you can win. Well, you know what? As the listing agent, I get paid every single time because I have the listing. So if that does, I could wrap the webinar right there and you guys would be like, I get it now. But we're not going to. We're going to keep going. But I hope that it shows you why you should be focusing on listings. Now, how do you stand out as a listing agent? These are the 7 categories that you need to be focusing on. Number 1 is market knowledge. You should be an expert in your market. You should know your market better than anybody. And whenever you're talking to a seller or somebody about real estate, you should know who lives there, where they're coming from, the average sale price in the area, how many homes, how many people, all that stuff. You need to be a market expert. Second is you need to be sold on your company. Yes, that was a long pause because I want you to understand what I just said. You need to be sold on your company. Okay, I know so many realtors are like, well, I'm at this company. And trust me, I'm not even affiliated with a brokerage right now. So I have no interest in recruiting anybody. I just know because I recruited personally 200 agents into the Keller Williams model. Okay, my last 2 years at Keller Williams, I ran 3 of their offices. And I can tell you, I spoke with hundreds and hundreds of agents that were not happy where they were, but they just stayed somewhere because it was easy, because they had some friends or whatever it was. And the problem with that is when you show up and you show up to meet with a seller, if you're not 100% sold on your company being the best, they will sense that. They will pick up on that, my friends. You have to believe in your company. Here's something you should write down. 99.9% is not certainty. 99.9. I know some of you guys are thinking, wow, that's high. It is high, but it's not 100%. It's not 100%. That one hundredth of a percent is what will throw you off when it comes to you competing against other agents when it comes to getting that listing. Okay, the next one here is options. Man, you got to figure the listing options out. You got to figure this out. Okay, Zach Beach is joining us Tuesday on one of our calls. They do lease purchase options. It's just another option for the tools for the sellers. I like to call it my listings tool belt. So when I meet with a seller, it's not just like, hey, I'm just going to throw your house on the MLS. Man, I'm holding a letter right here. Hold on, let me see where's this letter? Well, maybe I had it earlier. I have a letter that was sent to me from Open Door. Open Door is sending me letters. So listen, Open Door is sending your clients letters too, right? Are you going to fight Open Door? No, what you do is you offer the same thing as Open Door. So when we meet with sellers, we don't say, hey, don't use Open Door. What we say is, hey, we can do that too. As a matter of fact, we can do that and you'll probably walk away with more money at the end of the day, right? So there's options now. So we don't just say, hey, let's list your house on the MLS, but we can put it in MLS. We can give you a cash offer. We can do a guaranteed sale program, right? We can do a lease purchase. We can even do an off-market listing if you want to. We have options, my friends. That's what we teach. We teach our students to have the best options possible. So when they show up, the seller doesn't have to go anywhere else. The next thing is success stories. You have to have success stories. Success stories is what sells. People are going to relate to your stories. Like you should be able to share when you're talking to people. Hey, I helped this other agent, the seller do this. I helped this person do this. And over at 123 Main Street, we were able to successfully do this. People relate to that more. Now, I want to see in the chat, if you could, let me just know. I'd love to know a couple things. I should have done this earlier. My apologies. But tell us where you're coming in from. And then love to know how many listings you took last year. So 2 things, where you're coming in from, and let us know how many listings you took last year. Okay, we're gonna keep our eyes on that. The next one is testimonials. Testimonials sell. Okay, so you should be compiling your testimonials. Now, some of you might say, hey, you know what, David? I just don't have success stories yet, David. I don't have testimonials yet, David, and that's fine. You know what you're going to do? You're going to get some from your office. Because when I first started, even though I was on that team that I left, I got to use that team's numbers. I used their success. I used their past experience. That's what I did. So that when I showed up and they said, hey, well, how many homes have you sold? I said, well, my team did this. Okay. So testimonial is important. Accountability, important. All right. Having somebody there that can keep you accountable, whether it's a manager at your office that's committed to meeting with you, whether it's a coach, whether it's an accountability group, some way to keep you focused and keep you accountable. And then the last thing that I believe, and I didn't have this when I first started, was community. Have a community of people that are doing the same thing as you. They're focused. They want to achieve more. They want to do big things. They're supporting each other, pouring into each other, holding each other accountable. I love community. So these 7 things right here, I'll tell you what, you master these 7 things and you will be a tremendous listing agent. You will be earning multiple 6 figures before you know it. All right. Number 2, asking hard questions. Asking hard questions. These are the questions that people are literally up at night thinking about. Okay, now, you could, as a matter of fact, I think I even heard Janine ask somebody, hey, what questions are you up at night thinking about? Because people will tell you. What we need to do is when we become the solution to solving these problems, we are priceless to them. We are the ones they want to spend time with. We are the ones they want to hire. We are the ones they want to refer to all their friends, all their family members, everybody they knew. They want to shout our names off the rooftops. If they even hear the word real estate in an elevator, like, oh, you got to call Beth. You got to call Tish. You got to call Bo. You got to call David, right? That's what happens when you get deep with people and you learn to ask those hard questions. And once you understand the challenges, you should always be looking for a solution. We call this being a solution-based salesperson. Solution-based. I don't give up. I don't give up on people, right? There's a solution. What is the solution? Okay, I think that's, in my opinion, what makes a great salesperson is somebody that's resilient, somebody that's not going to give up. If you go back to that second slide I shared, I know some of you weren't on when I shared that second slide, but that second slide was Zig Ziglar. He says, when you help enough people get what they want, you end up with whatever it is that you want. So be solution oriented. Okay, be solution oriented. We've got some tremendous agents that we get to hang around with on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, that are solution oriented. Yeah, we're going to be opening up for questions at the end. So if you have questions, just please hold your questions to the end. All right. And then finally, number 3, I'm telling you, I'm going to go through these things. Number 3 is I want you to stay top of mind with people. We need to figure out how to stay top of mind with our people. Okay, top of mind. This is at multiple ways. It's not just, not just on the phones, because you guys know we do a lot on phones, but it's networking events. It's maybe you're a member at the chamber. Maybe you are a part of a local master networks group like we have, or a BNI group, or whatever it is. You're getting out there. You're in the community. It's also on social, right? On Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. How are you showing up there? Are you providing value? Are you educating people? It's that as well. Then, phones, be creative. I don't just send people text messages. Like, I go out of my way to send a video to people. Like, I'll just do a quick video, say, hey, David, I was thinking about you. I hope you're doing well. If I can help you in any real estate, let me know. We have to learn to stay top of mind. One of my best customers years ago literally came from being in line at a Starbucks. I'm telling you, in line at a Starbucks. Okay, I'm talking to a guy. He's a financial advisor. We end up getting into a conversation. Next thing you know, we meet, and he ended up becoming one of my best clients. I also used him for my financial services, but he referred every one of his customers to me. Anytime they needed real estate, I probably closed 15 transactions. And his customers, they all had nice houses, by the way. We're talking people, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 houses plus. Why? Because literally talking to people in line at Starbucks, just, hey, how's, the weather's beautiful. However, you need to figure out how to start a conversation, but we need to learn how to stay top of mind with people. Now, I want to give you some strategies, because once you meet somebody, you still have to stay top of mind with them. Just meeting them once doesn't do the job. So I always schedule a follow-up. Anytime I have a conversation with somebody, I schedule my next follow-up. Really, really, really important. Very important. Schedule the next follow-up. Now, remember I said in the beginning, the index cards. Remember these index cards? I found it under my calendar. No, that doesn't really work. Okay, so have a CRM. Add it to your CRM. Do not rely. And listen, don't get me wrong. I love Post-it notes. You can see I'm holding a Post-it note here. Like I definitely like Post-it notes, but I do not rely on Post-it notes to run my business. I add everything to my CRM and I schedule the follow-up. Now, we also use a combination of email, SMS messages, phone calls, video SMS messages. We literally send, like this envelope I'm showing you, we send things. I mean, we do it all. Okay, we do social media. I mean, we want to show up everywhere. It's called being omnipresent. Being omnipresent. We're showing up everywhere. Now, here's a number that's important: 5 to 12. 5 to 12. And I've heard recently, I heard it's up to 18, guys, up to 18. 18 attempts before you can convert somebody. Crazy, right? That means people need to see you. Why is that so high? It's because it builds trust. The more people see you consistently. I was speaking with somebody yesterday, internet marketing person. He was telling me, listen, the more people see you consistently, it builds trust. The more you keep showing up, right? The more you show up, but the consistency, like if they see you one day and you're doing something weird, that's not going to help you. But if you're consistently doing good things, your message is the same, and you're helping people and you're solving problems and you're showing, some of the results you've gotten for families, then people will over time start to trust you, even if they don't know you yet. But it consistently takes, like I said, 5, 12 times plus. Be intentional. This is another one, like this is just about letting people know what your intentions are, right? I find it, one of my little pet peeves about real estate agents is, and sorry, real estate agents, if this is you, don't get mad at me, get mad at whoever taught you this. Do not call people up and say, hey, I'm just checking in to see how you're doing, and then hang up without an ask. Okay. Not only they think you're weird. They're like, why did that real estate agent just call me to find out how I was doing? Aren't they a real estate agent? Like, they know you're a professional, right? Like, you don't let people know why you're calling. Hey, I'm calling you. Haven't spoken in a while. I hope you're great. Awesome. Amazing. How's the kids? Excellent. By the way, inventory is low right now. Do you happen to know anybody that's looking to sell a property? Why not? I mean, that's the purpose of the call. Stop. It's weird when you don't tell people your intentions. People think it's weird, okay? Nobody wants real estate agents calling them just to say hi. No, call them, be a professional, because they're judging you, by the way. They're going to think, well, if he called me, didn't even ask for business, what's he going to say to the buyer that showed up at my house? Or what's she going to say to the buyer that showed up at my house? All right, so let's see. How do we do in the chat? Let's see. Let's look at this chat quick. Okay, we got ask more questions. I love it. All right, great. Great. 90% of FSBOs don't sell. Okay, good. So listen, you guys, let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're coming in from. If you're driving, then don't do that. We don't want to cause any accidents out there. That's for sure. So we don't want any of that. But let us know where you're coming in from. I'd also love to know where you are with this process. All right. Like, how many listings did you take last year? Are you focused on listings? How many listings do you want to take? Drop it in the chat. No big deal. No need to be shy here. Okay. We just want to see who we got on the call today. So again, be intentional. Let people know your intentions. Right. There's no benefit in not doing that. And then provide value. I mean, come on. You all know that. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Provide value. Okay. Figure out how you will provide value to people. All right. We got Beth in Florida. Amazing. All right. Excellent. Good, Beth. Thank you for coming in. We got a few people from Florida here. I'm from Boston. So provide value, though. Like, what does that look like for you? Right? Like, what can you do to provide value? Maybe you can educate if you're reaching out to somebody, educate them on something that's happening locally, something in the neighborhood, something that they don't know. You should always think about it as you're going. So we got somebody from Kansas City popping in as well. Go Chiefs. The Chiefs are killing it. Never going to move further than Brady, but hey, we'll see. Right? we got Tom Brady, we got Mahomes. But listen, we're not going to get in that conversation. But KC, great squad. I want you to go back to where I started, though, with Zig Ziglar. Help enough people get what they want, you will end up with whatever it is that you want. And I can't say enough about that. I think it's so critically important. All right. And I just want you to remember this. All right. You don't provide a service unless you close. I don't run a charity. I'm being honest. I don't run a charity. Okay. I don't run a nonprofit. I mean, I serve at my church. I do other things, but in my business, I can't help you unless you do business with me. Whether it's coaching, whether it's training, whether it's right. That's me. Now, for you as a real estate agent, you can't have like some real estate agents make this huge mistake. Like you provide so much information before they've even committed to you at all. Like you go, you do this market analysis, you do all this stuff for them, you do all this research, you show up and then you give it to them. And then they take it and say, okay, thank you, and then go hire another agent. No, you got to stop. You got to switch that around. You got to provide information. Don't get me wrong. You got to provide value, but there's a level that they need to hire you to move to that next level. Okay, you're talking about somebody that ran a team that averaged. I think our team we were taking 12 listings a month. The best month, we took 27 listings in 1 month, a small team of 4 salespeople. Okay, I was the primary listing agent. I had 1 more listing agent and 2 buyer's agents. Okay, 27 listings in 1 month. So I'm not telling you something I don't know. I'm not telling you something I haven't done. Okay, I'm not telling you something like it. We consistently grew our business every single year from 2001 all the way until 2017, until I went into leadership with Keller Williams. All right. And then went back in 2020 during COVID and sold homes for 2 years for EXP during COVID. So I'm telling you stuff that works. Oh, and by the way, we have a community of people right now that are doing this stuff every day and having massive success. All right. I want to share my big challenge with you guys, and then I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up to you in a minute, okay, and we're gonna talk about some questions, all right? But one of the questions here, though, typically I get is David, can you help me get listings? Can you help me get listings? And the answer is absolutely yes, 100%. And I wanted to let you know that we have an opportunity today to join our Real Estate University. I wanted to create a special opportunity. Now, Real Estate University, just to tell you a little bit about it, is a university. It's on-demand training. There's over 120 lessons online. So you can log in. You can literally do your training in the morning with your breakfast. You can train at 12 midnight if you want, 4 a.m., whenever you want. It's on demand. And plus, there's 4 calls a week. 2 calls are with Coach Norman, where you do role play, and the other 2 calls are with me, where I teach and I train on different strategies to go out there and take listings. Okay, that's it. So right now we charge $297 a month for university, but right now we're offering this offer to the people on this call. You can test us out for 1 month. There's no renewal unless you ask us to renew you. There's no auto pay. There's nothing. You sign up for 1 month. You test out university for $147. Now, whether you're a brand new agent, if you've never taken a listing before, whether you're in the middle and you've taken listings and you're like, okay, I want to take it to the next level, or maybe you're crushing it and you're like, I know there's another level. This is for you. All right. So I want you to picture a day. Okay. I want you to picture a day when you can effectively pick up the phone and contact anybody. You can call anybody with confidence and get them to engage in a conversation with you. Or I want you to picture a time when somebody else in your office, like Bo or Sean or Khalib or Beth or anybody, or Andy or Ann or Zakiya or Zakiya or Janine or Sam, or the others that are on this call right now. I want you to picture a time where somebody else in your office comes up to you and says, wow, inventory is so low. How are you getting all these listings? Imagine that. Like somebody comes, like that's what people used to say to me. Or I want you to picture a time where you have the financial freedom, you have the resources, you have the income to take trips, to bring your family where they want to go, to do what you choose to do. Well, you know what? You don't have to picture anything anymore, because that day can be today. Today's one of them tech days. Now my AirPods just died. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Beautiful. All right, good.
So listen, next step for you guys, simply get yourself into university, try it out for a month. Okay, try it out for a month. Go there. It's only 147. It's going to be the best investment you've made into your career, into your business. And then you have an opportunity at the end of the month to decide if you want to continue or not. That's completely up to you. All right. In 2017, I was running 2019, 2017, I was running the Keller Williams, 3 Keller Williams offices in Connecticut. And I joined a group of CEOs for a 1-year mastermind retreat type thing, accountability coaching, high ticket stuff. And at our first retreat, we were all given 3 health tracks. The first track was you had to pick one of these 3 over this 3 days. You had to make a decision. The first one was yoga. The second one was called HIIT, high intensity interval training. And then the third one was an Ironman race. So there were like 20 of us there. We all had to pick one of these tracks that we were going to complete over the next year. And yoga to me was too easy. Ironman made no sense. I didn't even own a bike. I didn't know how to swim. Okay. So I went with what made sense, which was the high intensive interval training, right? HIIT. And so by the end of the 3rd day, the instructor, Adam, just kept pushing everybody. You can do more. You can do more. So he made us all move up to the next level. So me reluctantly agreed to do the Ironman race. And so I left the event and I thought it was a pretty good idea until my first time in the Ellington, Connecticut YMCA pool, where I swam 1 lap, guys, one. One single lap, and I thought I was going to die. Okay, I drank nasty pool water from one end of the pool to the other, Olympic-sized pool. I was, I'm breathing, I'm drinking chlorine water, I'm holding the side of the pool. It was like 8-9 feet deep. I thought I was going to drown. I was like, oh my God. And I did the math in my head. Anybody else like numbers guy? Like I got to the end, I grabbed the side and I did the math and I said, okay, I just did 1 lap and I feel like this. And in order to complete this race, I would have to complete 84 laps. In my mind, it said impossible. Right there, I got out of the pool. I called my wife. I said, V, I got to get out of this race. There's no way I can do this. She's like, oh my God, David, you can do anything you want. And I just knew that wasn't going anywhere. So I said, all right, honey, I love you. So I called Adam next, the guy that made me sign up. I said, Adam, dude, there's no way. I just did 1 lap and Adam wasn't as nice as my wife. He said, stop being a B word that I'm not going to say here and hire a swim coach. Because that's how Adam talked. And hung up on me. And I was like, they have swim coaches? So I went up to the YMCA front counter and they had a guy named Joel. They connected me with Joel later that afternoon. I spoke to Joel. The first call, Joel says, hey, just want to let you know it's $80 an hour. I was like, $80 an hour? Uh-oh, hold on a minute. Almost bailed there, but I said, you know what? I'll agree. I'll meet with him for 1 meeting. So I ended up meeting with Joel at the pool the next morning. He watched me swim 1 lap down, grabbed the side. He gave me a little bit of, strategy, a little bit of, correction, do this, do that. And he said, okay, swim back. And he walked and watched me swim back to the other end. And I used some of the corrections he gave me. And he said, okay. And then he gave me a little break to catch my breath. He said, all right, I want you to swim back. He gave me some more coaching. And he said, okay, I want you to do this for, he goes, I want you to do this. I want you to at least practice a half hour a day for the next 3 days. And then I want you to meet me back here on Friday. And I said, okay. So I showed up at the pool. I kept showing up and he came back. He met me on Friday and I was all excited. And I swam down to the end of the pool and he watched me and I grabbed the end and I was all excited. And then I turned around and I swam back and I was like, about to be like, yes, I just nailed it. I just did one end and back. But I was breathing heavy and I was like, and then as I was grabbing the pool, he said, go back. And I said, what do you mean? He said, go back. He goes, you can do one more. And I said, and he said, go back. And so I turned around and I dragged myself back to the other end of the pool again. And I was making it. I was in the deep end and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to make this. Is 3 laps. And I was just about to grab it. And he said, go back again. He was standing right there. And I said, I can't. He said, go back again. And I said, he said, go back. And he yelled. And I like literally panicked. And I turned around and I just started dragging myself back to the other end of the pool. And I swear to you guys, I thought I may drown. There was a moment where I thought I was going to drown, but I just kept dragging myself and I pulled myself all the way back to the other end of the pool. And I made it and I grabbed the side of the pool and I was like, oh my God, I just did 4 laps, right? 4 days ago, I did 1 lap and I was going to quit. And I just did 4 laps. And I was thinking about this and I was so excited. And I stayed with Joel. And in, you know, within a month, all of a sudden I was doing 16 laps and then 20 laps. And eventually I went from Joel as my swim coach to Courtney, became my triathlon coach, and she helped me out with everything. But the reason I share the story is, which is so important, is not only did Joel help me to have that breakthrough, right? And pushed me when I was going to give up. Like I gave up. I said, this is impossible, but he pushed me. But here's the wildest thing about that. Because I'll promise you, without Joel, I would have never finished this. Okay. Without Joel, I'm going to tell you right now, without Joel, I would have never, ever, ever completed this race. Okay. But the thing that I didn't think about until after is I probably, right? I want you to think about this. I probably could have completed this race, not completed a race. I could have probably did the 4 laps my first time in the pool, but there was nobody there to push me to do it. There's nobody there to push me. And that's me. That's me at the finish line. The middle one, that's the first race I did, Lake Placid. Okay, did Lake Placid, took me 6 hours and 52 minutes to finish the race. 6 hours, 52 minutes. The one on the left side, that's me last year. That's Jones Beach, New York, Long Island. That race, we raised $10,000. That shirt I'm wearing, we raised $10,000 for kids' cancer. That would not have happened without Joel. That race, I took 35 minutes off my first time. So I finished in 5 hours and 35 minutes faster. And the reason I'm sharing this is it all happened because of Joel, because Joel was willing to push me, because he helped me do something that I thought was impossible. So the question I ask for you is, who's helping you? Who's pushing you? Right? Some of you right now are like, well, David, I appreciate everything you share with me and I'll figure this out. I'll do it myself. I'll go on YouTube. I'll find someone to do it for free. There's free coaches on Clubhouse and blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, what I'm offering you right now is a shortcut. I'm offering you compressed. Okay, we're compressing things for you. You know, so don't be one of the, like, people leave. It's funny, like I watch the numbers. You start talking about an opportunity for people. What do? Is they leave. And you guys came on here. Why? Because you want to get to that next level. So now's the time to invest in yourselves. Invest in yourselves to get to that next level. I'm creating an opportunity right now. Like for me, hiring Joel, okay, was the most important thing I did to get me to that finish line in that race. If I didn't do that, I would have never, ever finished. And I just encourage you, I challenge you. Okay, Sam's going to drop a link in the chat. You guys can join us. Check us out for a month. Test us out 1 month and see if it works for you. And the reason I'm doing this is because we know if you hang out with us for a month, you're going to want to continue. So take advantage of that. I want to get you into some Q&A. Okay, here's some client testimonies. Here's some of the people that are still with us. Some of the people that have gone through our university. Jennifer's still with us. Cohila's a huge fan. Luke, we helped this whole team blow up. I mean, it's just a tremendous university. So I want to get you guys to some questions. I've got about another 10 minutes. So let me know what questions you have. You guys can raise your hand. If you have a question, that's what we're looking for. Or maybe you can just share a takeaway, something you got from being here today. And I want to thank you guys all for being here and hanging in here to the very end. So who has a question or a takeaway? That's all we're looking for, is questions and takeaways right now. Let's see. I'll look at, or if you want to just drop something in the chat, I can read it too. Or if you want, you can raise your hand and we will have you come off mic, and you're welcome to share as well. All right, let's see. Hold on a second. Let me get to the chat. All right. So awesome. It says you never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. 100%. Yeah, we got to expand that Coverage Zone. We got Andy says, were you in Gary's? Yeah, I was in Gary's mastermind for years. Gary Keller's top 100 mastermind. I was in there. You guys can go back and see some old YouTube videos where I'm on stage with Gary Keller at Mega Camp. Yeah, calming the mind is all in the breathing, 100%. Maggie said, well done. Yes, thank you, Maggie. Appreciate that. Yeah, so listen, do we have any questions or comments? If you do, just raise your hands. All right, well, we're not getting a lot of comments and questions, so I'll keep my eyes on the chat. If not, your thoughts on going solo. Okay, great question. Thoughts on solo versus a team? I love that question because for me, in the beginning, I joined a team, and the reason I joined a team is because I wanted somebody to show me the way, right? Somebody that was willing to commit to me. But what I realized, like I said, after about 4 months, that although I was grateful to Steve because he showed me how to go out there and find, for sale by owner sellers, his system wasn't a great system for me. The index cards wasn't cutting it, right? So I ended up leaving, doing my own thing for a while, and then started my own team. So I think for a lot of you, that would be my suggestion. I mean, you guys got to figure out what works best for you. But for me in the beginning, it made sense to join someone else that already knew what they were doing, was established, and it got me going. Regardless if it didn't work on his team, he still gave me a launching pad. He still showed me, hey, here's some motivated people that you should be focusing on. So I ended up doing more than twice as much business as he did at the end, but he's the one who got me started. So I'm always going to be grateful to him to start on his team. So I think, that's really a decision, a personal decision that you all should be making. But, if you can get somewhere faster, quicker, easier, right? Then, hey, but some of you guys just need to go invest a couple $100 in yourself. Seriously, like a lot of people will go and they'll buy a Starbucks coffee, right? Every day they'll spend $5-6 in Starbucks, but yet you ask them to invest $200 in themselves to join a community that's going to help them get to the next level, and they tell you that they have no money. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm just telling you, I'm being honest. So some of you guys need to join us and see what it's all about and get in there with the community of people that are going to push you and help you get to that next level, just like Joel did to me. So do we have any other questions? Well, listen, then, I just want to say thank you guys for being here today. Again, here's the, you can scan that now, join us. We'll be back. Our next call is going to be Monday at 9 a.m. You'll be in there. If you sign up today, you'll have access to our on-demand workshop this weekend. You can literally train all weekend in there. There's over 120 videos. There's, I don't know how many hours worth of content. I'd guess there's probably 300-400 hours worth of content, if not more. There's so much in there. It's absolutely tremendous. You need a script. You need to know what to say. You need a specialty plan. When I talked about the 5 options earlier, those options are in there. Everything is in there to be successful. Now, here's what some people say. Well, my office already has training. Yeah, we know every real estate office has training. So the question would be for you is, how is that working out for you right now? Right? That's it. If it's working, great, phenomenal. If it's not, then look at something else, right? Is your office specific to taking listings? Are you in a community of people that are out there every day listing and selling homes? Are they training with you? Are they role playing with you? Are they giving you guidance? Are they giving you feedback? Are they giving you, as a matter of fact, I think we had two referrals passed last week in our network alone. Never mind just learning, but the referral opportunities. So that's what's available to you guys. The obvious next choice for you is just to take action and join the community. The work's already been done for you. That's all. That's what I'm gonna wrap with that. I want to thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate you investing the time. What I can tell you about the Real Estate University is the work has already been done. And all you need to do now is take action, join us, and we'll see you on the next call. Thank you for being here. Have a tremendous rest of your day. You absolutely rock. And I look forward to hearing and seeing you when you hit that multiple 6 figures.